everybody. What's going on? Thanks for tuning back in. Something great has happened if we've made it to 2 episodes that are on the internet. Like if you're seeing this, some stars have aligned. We've really gotten our things in gear, and we're back. We're
resilient and stupid.
Absolutely.
Or
it adds up.
Somebody might care eventually.
Maybe, who knows? But hey, I'm Nick, and this is Mr. Carson, and we're professional bass players by some degree of the terminology.
Yeah, something like that.
We're here to talk bass. We're both in the country touring circuit, and we like everything outside of that. But the world we live in is a country tone box, which you can break out of. But
like country adjacent. They bill us as alternative folk.
I should have known he was going to defend
just like
that.
Cool country music is what
he thinks he's better than me because I play for a Nashville singer-songwriter country guy.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, he thinks he's better than me.
No.
It's fine. Nonetheless,
they're different gigs. As you learn us, you'll kind of see the shows are different, the people are different, the
drinks are different.
Yeah, your scene is a lot more legitimized.
I don't know if that's the term. I wouldn't call a honky tonk in Tampa, Florida legitimized, but
like you're playing shows where they're willing to backline in ears. And there's Ableton rigs and...
No, I bring the rig.
Oh, you bring the rig.
Yeah. They're not going to give me an Ableton rig. But that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm more like, we're highs and lows. So it's like dive bar or super cool venue opening for somebody or dive bar. So we're kind of riding the wave. We've got some cool stuff coming, but...
Yeah.
We're...
I guess she is, she's alt.
Yeah, and our new direction too goes more country. Sorry, not country. More like the Killers. Bruce Springsteen meets John Prine. Kind of a weird.
The
combo.
Killers just had Bruce Springsteen out live. I saw that. Just imagine.
Man, if I was at that show, I would be weeping.
Just imagine being at the point in your career where you're like, we're headlining. Was it Madison Square Garden?
Something like that.
I think it was MSG, and they were like, we're gonna bring out.
The boss.
The guy. Like the dude. So that's so cool. I saw videos of that. I was like, that'd be a show to see.
Yeah, they had a version of a song, Saw Cinderella in a party dress, that they had Bruce Springsteen sing a verse on.
Nice.
And it was super cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Speaking of, have you seen anybody lately? Seen any shows, anything that caught your eye?
No, I'm always watching YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
I really like the new Paramore song.
Paramore's been all over the internet. What's that guy's name? You're familiar with him?
It's at Jelly Quinn. I don't remember his. Is that what he goes
cool
by?
Vibe. I've seen his
cool.
What does he do? Like mint green, colorful guitars, and I'm into that.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's got a feel and a vibe that I think is super cool. But he's not a founding member of Paramore. He's just like brought this super vintagey cool vibe to it.
Totally.
You're gonna make fun of me about this. Has a Noble, and he it's like a Noble plus weird pedals is his vibe, or like old bass rigs like Sun or like
cool.
Always switching out. He's cool, and it really proves that like he uses the gear as a vibe, but he doesn't use the gear as like he is him no matter what he's playing through.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I like that.
So,
I need to check more of that stuff out. I know I've heard the single, but I couldn't.
And Abby saw some show where he played for a country artist, and he was freaking amazing there too.
Nice.
So,
Gig's a gig, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's just incredible.
Nice.
That's really, really influenced my tone. And like a lot of the guys playing Nobles were too muddy for me. And when I saw all this guys like Instagram reels and stuff, I was like, I can do what I want out of it.
Nice.
He's got the treble where I would want it, usually half or like a little bit over half. The bass around. Sometimes he doesn't boost bass. Sometimes he boosts it a little. It's exactly how I leave mine. So I'm like, that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I recently went up to a new venue up in Louisville, Kentucky, and I saw Hippo Campus, which was super, super cool.
I've never heard of them.
They're awesome. It's like indie rock, cool poppy. Like the lyrics are super like coded and cool. Really fun, like lines, fun melodies, moving bass parts. Like I think I want to say he played the same B bass the whole show, which is fun to
Sick.
see. It's fun to see when you're like selling out,
To use pedals?
1,000. Oh gosh, apparently.
It seems like a lot of people, I'm thinking of like Tim LaFay or the guy we were just talking about, they use like a P bass with or without flats as like the foundational tone.
Sure.
So that they manipulate more on their pedal board.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's exactly what he was doing.
It's cool. It's
he
cool
had
vibe.
definitely various amounts of drive, which
Okay.
there was no cab on stage, which is always fun to see. But like I said, when you're in these certain clubs, you doesn't really do much for you at a certain point. You're fronting in-ears.
Yeah. If you have a good PA, it's a lot less of an issue.
And it was a smoking line rate. It sounded really, really good. They traveled with this dude out of Minnesota wearing his like Twins hat in the back, and I was started to tell you this earlier, but I went up to him and I was like, hey, I was super bass nerd, and I was like, hey, mix sounds great, like compliments to the chef, but like, what's he using? And he's like, dude, he switches it like every week. He has like a collection.
A brother, a fellow addict.
He's like, dude, there's no telling what he was playing through today. I don't even check anymore. And I was like, that's hilarious, dude.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, but he's like, like I said, different, like sprinkling in certain levels of drive. There's one like little outro that it's not like this on the record, but like it's kind of like breaks it down, and it's almost a bass solo. And he like plays these like and it's like these kind of like chopped up little things, threw on some nasty like octave thing, and it like slammed the room, and I was like, man, that's fun. We love a bass moment. Like, it was so cool to see, and like crowd ate it up. They loved him playing, and he's great. I don't know what his name is. I want to say it's like Zach or something. I don't know, but Hippo Campus, they're super fun. If you haven't heard it, I'll make him listen to some later, basically. So
that's all.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Have you used an octave pedal very much?
With the bass, no. With a guitar,
you do?
It was essential. It's like this. I feel like in the guitar,
up or down, or both. Oh, okay,
both, because you're not
like a pog.
You can't. Sometimes, I was using the Sub It Up is the TC. It's a mini version. I was using the mini 7-Up, and it's this tiny little footprint. And honestly, it tracked really, really well. And basically, it's got it's got like your true signal level, your sub octave, and then your high octave. So it's like dial it up, whichever out of the 3 octaves that you want, take it. And I was like, this is super nice. So I would use it for like soaring leads. Like, it would like sparkle up top, which is really cool.
That's a cool idea.
Which, I think it's kind of a little bit tougher to melt it into a bass signal. I was using it at a church. There was a weekend that I ended up with a 4-string, but it had this like really, really deep, like it was in like this it was in the key of A, but it like this break had like this low B, and then walk it up to this D, and it was like, oh man, I needed to go somewhere. So I dialed up, I was using this Helix, and I dialed up like an octave thing, and it was like, it was smoking, and it sounds so cool, but like, I would never want to overdo it. I think it's the tasteful octave and I think that his was the same way, was like, wow, that's cool, and that you can use it in these auxiliary ways, but like, I would hate to be known as the guy that's like, oh yeah, he's got an octaver. Like, congrats. But there's plenty out there, and there's plenty I like.
Yeah, it seems like there's some people that put an octaver on their bass that like call it a desert island effect.
I mean,
and they like it. There's a lot of people that like, to me, every time I play with an octaver on, I feel like it sound like crap. I'm just not good at it or something.
Is it where it is in the chain?
That's good. Like, since it's so digital, you'd want it pretty up top, right?
Yeah.
I mean, tracking.
Depending on what else was in your board, really.
Yeah.
I've
got a microsynth on the board right now, and it is such a quirky, large pedal. Right now, I'm not getting along with it. It seems like it's, you catch it in the moment and it sounds one way, and then you go to use it again, and it doesn't really sound. It seems it's so cool. It's like a playground, but it's like chaotic. I think it's too chaotic.
The microsynth
for me to use it, and it's analog.
It's so funny because I don't know. I just lean so digital in these realms. Like, I think there maybe I could be really, really convinced that I really wouldn't want like a digital preamp situation.
Right.
But like, as far as any kind of modulation, time-based, weird stuff, odd things. I love the digital realm, and I'm rocking this HX Stomp, and he's not even happy about this, but I had been talking about this for a while, but I'd seen some guys in Nashville that are like, I hate drop tuning, I hate down tuning, I hate throwing a capo and doing something weird. So they literally would just use the whole, like just use a stomp on the HX as like a pitch shift. And I was like, I wonder if bass players are doing that. And then I met one other guy that was like, yeah, I use it every once in a while. And I started thinking I could get down to that. So now I've got this, basically it'll drop it a whole step. So and it's awesome, dude.
We hashed this
so
out
cool
in the first episode, and I was shocked at this concept at all.
Yeah.
And Nick had his Helix in here a couple minutes ago.
Yes.
I was playing.
I was going to say, this has developed since then. I did it.
And he turned it on, and I was surprised. I'm still completely anti doing that.
And that's, I think, what makes me feel, it makes me feel alive that you are.
But it was cooler than I thought it would be.
Man, and especially in like in the country realm, I don't ever really find myself wanting much lower than a D.
Right.
Really?
Because we both enjoy 5-string basses, but we like playing 4 strings.
Dude, it's just home bass for me. It's like the way I grew up and like what feels really good in the fingers.
Yep.
So I'm like, how can I keep that integrity? Well, I mean, and I thought, what if I just had 2 4 strings and drop tune one? And then I was like, what if I just pressed one button?
It worked.
And it's awesome. It worked so cool.
More than I thought.
I'm really stoked to try it in an actual gig, but like sitting at home, dude, if I got like I had headphones on, I was listening to it, and I was like, I don't know if it's real or if it's the dropped octave or the dropped note or the real note. I don't know, and I don't know. I could be convinced. I think it's pretty cool, especially, man. I'll tell you, it would be like the bar band's dream to have something that tracks that well.
It tracked very well.
Dream. I mean, imagine So one thing I've done is I played electric for this 90s cover band. Everything is dropped at least a half step. I think we're always tuned a half step. But then sometimes you're even lower. So it's like, instead of having to be like, which one is this? Which one is, where are we at? You just got the button and it's there, dude. Like it's pretty cool. And it's so easy to reach down and just dial up like so say you want to go even lower, let's go to D flat. I mean, it's right there.
If I was playing more cover gigs too, I think the Stomp, I'm already thinking about it just mostly as a live tool.
Sure.
But man, yeah, the if I was still mostly playing cover band stuff and outside of my country cover band, I play with a girl named Lauren Mink. She's awesome. She was on American Idol for a little bit, and if I was playing more stuff outside of that, we mostly stick to country. That would be on there like Little Big Town, all that kind of stuff. But we dabble into more like classic rock, which is probably my favorite parts of our set.
Yeah, she does the Stevie Nicks. She does.
Yeah, she does Stevie Nicks really well. If I was doing more of that, or if I was going to a different cover band and having to do more like What's Love Got to Do with It and like all the 80s synthy stuff, the Helix is an insane tool. I mean,
dude, it's awesome.
I will say what I do use to supplement that, which might be cheating, is I use a Source Audio C4 synth pedal, which I think the microsynth's going to go back and the Source Audio, and it's also this big, and the microsynth this big.
Harmonics loves a huge pedal.
And you can load stuff on it, and really, it says it's like a synth, but it's like a community of presets that you just load on it. It's got different, like you can pick 3 different presets on the front, then like hold a button down and get 3 more. And I have like an octaver that I like, or like a synthy octave sound that I used to do like a Moog sound. And then I have a bit crusher of all things.
Oh yeah.
That
I remember your bit crusher.
The bit crusher, and then I like darken it in a way that sounds like a overdriven synthy. Like that was my last chorus pedal for a minute, and you would never know. Like in the scope of a mix, I'm always looking for something like that. Some people would maybe use a fuzz. I'm gonna experiment with some fuzzes.
Like crest the hill at the end.
Yeah, at the very end, just give it a little something, and it's a freaking bit crusher. and it
It just has
sounds
that
awesome.
sparkle.
Yeah.
See, that's what the Octaver is for me.
Yeah.
That's what that is for me.
I think the reason I didn't do an octave was because the Bit Crusher, it's not a tracking thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can hit my low C or my B or like all the low end of the neck, and it still do that.
It still sings.
So I'm not having to like adjust mentally.
Sure.
So anyway, I don't know. That was kind of off the cuff. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Have you got any like gear lately? Maybe non-pedal realm.
Non-pedal.
Have you picked up anything bass wise that's not necessarily a pedal?
Bass wise,
Because I
no.
have.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got a double mono gig bag.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For the bass guitar.
Yes.
I was flying, and it's funny. I didn't even get it in time for this fly gig, and I thought I'm sick of like. Basically, like heavy man and like just the big SKB through the airport and then gate checking it and or whatever. And I thought I would love to have the backpack. And we all know mono is just like basically they give you one when you sign your lease in Nashville, I guess. And I'm just like, all right, here we go. And I have the double guitar, and it can be kind of chunky depending on what's in there. So I thought I'll order it. I'll see how it goes. And I got it, and I'm like, this is it. It's so cool. I mean, it rides under the bus bass so well, and everybody knows that. I told him earlier, I think maybe if it was in the trailer, I would be not inclined at all, but it just goes right in the bus bay.
Yeah.
And I think it's everything I want, because then I can throw that on my back and then carry my actual rig to the stage, set that rig up, pop the two guitars out, and throw the bag off stage. Like when you have a case, you don't realize, especially, dude, sometimes we'll pull up to these like honky tonk bars and there's no room on this stage, like these tiny little things. And you're like, where am I even going to set this case down to get this 5-string bass out? It's like, I don't even have space. So this one, leave it standing, unzip it, pop it out the top, strap stays on. I'm like, come on.
I stay strapped.
I say strapped.
Oh, I got that thing on me.
So that's been cool.
That's cool.
I'm really excited to get out with it, and it will fly with me. I mean, I know a lot of people will buy the double, and on a fly date, they'll take a guitar out of the back and then like stuff it with clothes.
So you're double stuffed with clothes.
You're literally just like, that is your whole trip.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense in the way it would fall. I'm like, hey, that's sweet.
We're gearing up to, and I think it's a subject for next time. We need to talk about our experience flying with our instruments.
We're both weirdly passionate about like travel in general.
Yep.
But yes, flying with an instrument, how to like actually do a backline gig that's on the West Coast when you live on the East Coast like us.
Yep.
Because like,
and I have a mono bag. I have the Vertigo, and I really like it. It's not perfect. And I also have the Mono Tick, which I really like. And I think it's cool that we've already landed at different spots of like what we're okay with or what we would prefer to take. So if you're interested in that, I'd check it out next time for sure, because we need to do our travel setups, and we need to do like our actual packing. How do we pack for travel?
Yes, he's really neck deep in the tech, and I'm neck deep in the cheap boy cool way. So
I like that. Cheap boy cool is probably better, but I'm pretty happy with it.
I don't know that it's better, but it's definitely cheaper.
It's definitely cheaper. Well, anyway, thanks for listening to us ramble. I'm sure we'll be back at some point. If you like it, please comment. Please tell us. We're listening. We're trying to make a community. So we're also trying to, be pretty open about our opinions on pedals and whatever. So the more that happens, the more some companies might not enjoy us. So your support means a lot. And, this is a conversation.
And if we make it to 3, I mean, we'll know something is really getting in line here, okay? I mean, like, you get 1, okay, they accidentally made a podcast. You get 2,
yeah.
Oh, they accidentally made 2 podcasts. You get 3, oh, these guys they're doing this podcast on purpose. So here we are.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Right now we just fell into it, so
yeah,
it's good. We want you to hang out, and hope you like these conversations.
Absolutely. Have a good one. See you next time.